This is Marty with Marty's Diesel, and today's video is going to be going over the teardown to properly install your E-Fuel system on your old body style 94, 97 style truck. Hang on one second. So for starters, you do not need to remove the cab in order to do this job, okay? But what you are going to want to do is you are going to want to remove all of the fuel system components out of the valley of the engine. So your fuel bowl will be gone, your fuel pump will be gone, all of your fuel lines in the valley, including your drain that's over there, will be gone, and then your front of headlines right here, there's one there, and then you can see the other one just underneath there. You will be taking them off as well. The only thing up here in the engine valley that you're going to leave on here are going to be your front of headlines. And there are also, right there, there's some little sleeves that go in there. We send you out sleeves to go into each one of these lines. And I know it's tight, it's a pain in the ass, but your truck's already down. You might as well go ahead and replace those sleeves while you're in there. So for the teardown, you are removing everything fuel system related out of the valley with the exception of the rear of headlines. This is probably the most difficult front of headline to get to. It is one that we get a bunch of questions about. Typically what I do is I remove the AC compressor with the 4 bolts, as you can see right here. Then I grab these 13mm bolts right here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't actually take them all the way out. I actually just remove them till there's only like 2 threads sticking in the block, and that affords me enough room to get down there to remove that line. If you want to remove this bracket completely off the front of the engine in order to get to that line, be my guest. Here is also your drain line that comes out of the valley itself. You do want to remove that all together. It's not a requirement, but I do it. And then the same thing, to get to this front of headline over here, I typically don't have an issue getting to it after I remove the alternator. But if you want to remove the alternator and then remove these 13s, you got 1, 2, 3, and then a 4th one down here, you are more than welcome to do so. Also, if you need to remove the downpipe clamp in order to move the downpipe out of your way a little bit to get to that rear headline in order to replace that little sleeve that goes back there, you can do that as well. Now that should take care of pretty much everything that's up on top of this engine. If you need more detailed information or instruction on removing, you know, the fuel bowl and the fuel pump and stuff, I do have some older videos that cover that, and there's a bunch of other people that do that on YouTube as well. With that being said, here are your factory fuel lines coming down the front of the engine. Okay, there is a bolt right there that you will have to remove that's above your engine ground. That bolt is attached to these fuel lines that run further back. Coming along here, you can see you've got your fuel lines. These fuel lines all come out during the install of our fuel system. And all of our standard E-Fuel systems will come right back here to these top 2 fittings on top of the selector valve. This is your feed. That's further back, it's inside the frame rail. And then this is your return. This is your smaller one, the one that's closer to me in the video. And being the fact that this is a crew cab short bed truck, there's enough room to mount the fuel system right here between the fuel tank and the transfer case on the inside of the frame rail. But you certainly could mount it on the outside of the frame rail. But in this particular case, this customer can't. In this location, he could mount it up there, I guess, but he can't mount it right here, mainly due to the fact that he's got an aftermarket oil filtration system there. But we've got a video that covers that very, very well. So once again, for teardown, on our standard old body style E-Fuel kits, you are going to be removing these 2 fittings and every single line going forward all the way up into the valley. The only thing you are not removing for teardown is going to be your rear of headlines. This guy right here, this guy right here, and they made up on the back of the fuel pump right down there. So once you get every single one of those items out of this engine valley and out of your frame rail, you will be ready to start installing our fuel system. And here is the bent 1.25" closed end wrench that I made up here for the shop. In this particular case, you do not need to remove the turbo in order to loosen up that banjo bolt. Technically speaking, it does make it easier to take the intake Y out, but it is not impossible to do without taking the intake Y out. But I wouldn't recommend taking the intake Y, or I would not recommend doing this job without taking the intake Y out. Just make sure you cover the holes when you do so. But keep this in mind, you got all this stuff removed right here. It makes it easier for this wrench to get in there. But as you can see, just bending up like a skinny 1¼ wrench, I can get right in there, no problem at all. Not even close, to the turbo pedestal. So that right there is that special wrench that we use here in the shop in order to do this. This is really the only specialty tool that's needed in order to put an old body style e-fuel system on your truck from Marty's Diesel. So for some more informational videos about old body styles and our fuel systems, please remember to like, subscribe our YouTube channel, and you can also check out our website in order to see videos like this and much more. Thank you for watching.